it's a Wednesday meeting. I don't see anyone with an off-agenda item. No?
Kathy, anything off the agenda?
Not me, I'm here.
Okay.
And I believe we do not have a quorum, but although we don't have a quorum, we will still listen to the case and then go ahead and vote and make a note that there was not a quorum.
Okay.
And I'm facilitating today. My name is Denise O'Leary Seamer, and I'm facilitating for Cindy Clayton, Counselor Clayton.
Well, good evening. I hope you guys didn't get wet on your way over here. This is a case for changing SF5 and limited commercial zoning to limited commercial, to limited industrial. And I put some maps out at your places so you could see what the surrounding zoning was for you. The purple, lavender, periwinkle, whatever color you want to call that, is limited industrial. East across Broadway is general industrial, which is more intensive than limited industrial. And then you have the limited commercial, and then you have the SF5 zoning. And a couple of months ago, it's been within the last 4 to 5 months, the applicant had put forward a request to vacate Market Street between, not all the way down to 34th Street, but from 34th Street up to 35th Street. And that was approved. They had to get approval from the adjacent property owners to vacate the street. And so when they did that, then the street was split in half, and one half of it went to the properties on the east side of the street, and the other half went to the properties on the west side of the street.
For my own edification, that is Market Street?
Yes, this
Okay,
is Market Street right here.
okay,
And you can come up Market Street to that point, but then it's gated. It's gated at that south end. And also you can go down a little bit
okay.
from the north end, but then it also has a security gate.
Okay.
So this, one of the applicants, there's a couple of construction companies and whatever along there. There's also, I want to say cabinet maker, that type of thing. And with the limited commercial, they can't store materials or equipment, things like that, outside. So he is requesting, and there will be, let me say this, there will be no access to Park Place from this site. There will be along Park Place, well, even along Park Place, but also this, wherever you see the boundary that touches residential, that has to have screening and landscaping to provide a buffer, if you will, between the commercial and the residential. And if you've been by there, they've already got some kind of metal screening up, but we haven't gotten to the point where we've identified what that solid screening is. Because I don't think that they can have metal panel screening in limited industrial.
They'd have to ask for some type of exception. I think that can be, you need to ask Dale. That's been done on some industrial stuff down south on 47, but some design criteria.
Yeah,
regarding
okay.
that.
Well, I know this wasn't, when staff discussed this, this wasn't brought up about the metal panels that are there. But that is, what they're wanting to do is to change where the bolded outline is. They're wanting to change that to limited industrial to allow those businesses that front on Broadway, expansion, room. And so I think staff has recommended approval based on the zoning uses and character of the neighborhood, because it's mixed zoning, like I showed you on like you see on your zoning map. The other thing is, as I said earlier, the LC zone lots don't allow those businesses at front Broadway to fully utilize their property for their construction services. Park Place does provide some kind of barrier between the limited industrial and with the requirement of having landscaping and solid screening. That'll create another, some kind of buffer, and they will not be allowed to have, have access points onto Park Place. That will remain a residential street. The infrastructure is in place for them to expand. There shouldn't be a whole lot of impact on what the existing infrastructure is in that area due to the use that they want to have there. And I know they've talked to the fire department about getting access to the locked. I think that's one of the things that they had to do with the vacation, is probably either put up a Knox box or provide them key entry into the interior, what would be the interior of their property. So with that, I'll try and answer any questions.
Are there any questions from the board?
Where I end up is when we provide our assessment along with this, is that limited industrial allows for a lot more things than the light commercial. And in particular, under commercial, and it gets into sexual oriented businesses are prohibited with it, limited and other things. So once this is voted on or accepted at the next level, that becomes permanent. So how do we voice a concern or make sure that those types of things, those types of business or certain types of businesses that would not be appropriate for the area?
The SOBs aren't allowed within the city limits,
But here,
regardless of,
this is what I'm looking at right here. And it comes along and says, P's being what he is appropriate.
well, but then it has standards, use.
And these are, and this is not with respect, this is the conditions that have to be
Met
met.
before they can. So there hasn't been any sexually oriented business that I'm aware of that's been opened within the city limits since I've been in the planning
There
department.
require public hearing because
Yeah.
proximity to single family residential.
Yeah.
There's a number of businesses allow you to look on conditions. You've got supplemental use regulations that require a public hearing beyond the straight zone change.
Okay. Okay, I'll leave it at that then.
Yeah.
The last question is, what is considered the front of the property in this case?
It would be along Broadway because the access to the rear here, what used to be Market Street, is secured, and there wouldn't be any access The only way you can get into this area over here is through the either end, off 34th or 35th.
So this is, for this back here, this is considered the front of the property?
Well, yeah, there aren't any businesses, well, these are storage. If you've been up there, there's surface, storages. This isn't developed yet, it's just vacant.
Yes,
But
that's
this area back here does have, because it's allowed in limited industrial, it does have some, equipment, small materials, not a lot of materials, we store it outside.
The gates at either end would be your access here.
Right. And so the general public, does not have access into this area except from Broadway. And I don't think any of this property back here, that fronted Market, it was storage or whatever for the businesses that front Broadway.
So we are looking at expanding the existing business,
Expanding yes,
which is on your second paragraph.
yeah,
So that means you're gonna have same ownership, that means Broadway
Yes.
will be the
yes,
material
according to
that's required for
GIS.
this zone.
Yes. According to GIS, there are several property owners that are expanding, want to expand the limited industrial along there. And maybe the one property owner is in process of getting the parcels all under one ownership, but he had all the appropriate signatures on his application to request the zone change.
Thank you.
Kathy, could you define for me, what is an outdoor lay-down yard?
It's like where they, with utility companies, a lay-down yard is where they would put their poles and things like that they take to go out and replace, light poles. It's materials that they use in their business, like maybe for construction, it could be scaffolding pieces, storage,
Okay,
Outdoors.
outdoor storage, yeah. Doesn't have to be under a roof.
thank you. Were there any other questions or comments?
I move we accept.
Do we have a second?
Oh, you have those, okay.
You forgot to ask.
Okay. Do you have any comments? Would you like to add anything? Are you the owner?
Now you're getting personal.
Oh. Are you involved in this? No. Oh, good. Well, welcome. No comment from the public? Okay.
I'll
Anyone?
say it.
Second. We have a second from Bill. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Those against? Motion passes.
No, 6-0.
Well, we got a quorum now.
6, the 6.
I was counting.
Just Denise.
Are you excluded because you're acting chair?
I would think so.
Is that so? I don't know.
She'd be a DAB, she's a DAB member.
But Gregory has it all under control. We're okay. We're good.
Okay.
Okay, so we're good to go. I just want to make sure my staff report is right because this is going to be on the
Yes.
planning commission meeting tomorrow afternoon.
And it'll go to city council also.
Right, because it's a zone change. And
I'm not the
it'll
chair,
have a
I'm just
14-day protest period that will commence after the closing of the planning commission. So people will be able to submit written protest petitions until December 19th, I think is what it is, 21st.
I think Denise can vote.
Yeah, I can't
Yeah,
answer
Because
that.
I'm a facilitator.
I don't,
Just
you know, I
kidding.
honestly
Yeah, what
don't
do you
know. I
vote?
got
I
phone
vote in
calls,
favor.
Okay, so we have a quorum.
but no one, and I encouraged them to come to the DAB meeting to voice their concerns, and I thought there were gonna be a couple that showed up, but they did not.
Were those homeowners, did they appear to be homeowners over here?
Yes, they were in proximity. Now, I don't know how, if they were within the valid protest area, but they were noticed.
Just for our understanding, in this case, was that 200 feet?
This was 2.8 acres.
No,
Oh,
what, for the individuals who were notified, were they 200 feet within rezoning, or was it larger than that?
The notification for the rezoning was based upon the 2.8 acres of what this land is. So that would have been 350 feet notification area. The valid protest area is only 200 feet around the boundary. Anybody sends in a protest, a valid protest petition gets identified on a map, on a zoning map showing the 200-foot radius and where they are if they're outside of that.
However, you can protest outside that area, but you'd have appeal status, and it wouldn't count towards making the council have a 3/4
Right.
majority overturn.
Okay,
Right.
that's a good learning.
Right. If it's 20% or more within that 200-foot valid protest area, and that's 20% of the land area, not 20% of the property owners,
Okay,
then when it goes to city council, they have to have a 6 out of 7 votes for approval.
All right, the next item on the, thank you, Kathy. Next item on the agenda are issues of concern from DAB members. DAB members have any concerns? They talk to board. I found from Counselor Clayton.
So you know where the bridge is at 13th, you can go across the river?
Yes,
13th and what?
Pardon me?
Which bridge?
The pedestrian bridge by 13th Street that goes across the river, 13th and like McLean, I think it is down there.
Yeah.
McLean, Meridian, Amadon, Warren.
yes.
So east of that, no, north of that, is that District 6? Where does District 6 start or end?
It ends on the north end of the city, so it goes north of Douglas Street and all the way up to the northern part of the city.
So then that isn't District 6.
That is District 6.
So they set up quite a camp down there by the river.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
So the camp I was talking about.
yeah, it's pretty intense. I mean, they're like out there lounging in the sun, they got tents and tarps.
And where's
Is
the
it
camp
on Avenue
again?
Street?
It reminds me of
Oh, what-
when the teachers went on strike in Mexico and they set up all their tents around.
Uh-huh. And where is it again?
It's on the river. It's a little bit north of the pedestrian bridge at 13th and Amadon and McLean.
so the pedestrian bridge is,
You know where the big phallus symbols are of 13th
Oh,
and
yes.
Central and all that?
Yes.
That bridge right there.
Oh, and they're a little
Oh.
bit north.
Oh,
of
that's
that.
central. Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
Central and McLean,
Yeah,
it's south.
13th.
Yeah, I'm sorry. It's between Central and 13th. You're right, I'm
Yeah.
sorry.
Yeah, they
Okay.
camped out over on the east bank.
Yeah,
They
just
got a big white sandbar.
got a big
good cover.
community going on over there.
Hmm.
I don't think they bother anybody though.
I bike on there, I've never noticed them, just seen them when I'm biking on the other side.
So did you say Central and McLean?
Yeah, and I never even saw them until the leaves all fell off the trees.
Yeah, this big stuff,
And they're by the, okay.
this way the bike path and the river.
Yeah, the pedestrian bridge that goes across to like
That's
Cowtown.
Central, not
Yeah.
13th.
That's Central.
Central.
And so they're down below the pedestrian bridge?
Yeah, they're north of it,
Yeah.
by the river.
They're along,
The
they're along
Okay.
between the
Okay.
river and the bike path, and, you got Sims Golf Course, the bike path, then you got the river. Big
Yeah.
sandbars.
I'm sure they're not causing any problems. I just wonder about things like, where do they go to the bathroom?
That's what I was wondering. I was running by there the other day.
Bathroom and trash.
Bathroom and trash is
But it
my
is
main
like,
concern.
that's something that Officer Sweet always here, that's something I would know.
I can go ahead and report it tomorrow. I'll
Yeah.
Okay,
go ahead and
thank you.
I'll let them know.
I had a quick question. maybe, I don't know, well, maybe it's not a concern, but, the actual 13th bridge that Joel was talking about.
Trying to figure
Yeah,
out.
but the 13th bridge, right by the golf, park there, seems to be a lot of construction. Maybe I missed the meeting around does anybody know what's going up there? I assume it's a duplex or apartments or,
Oh, you're talking about the golf course?
Yeah. yeah.
Yeah.
And I mean,
That's that new apartment development that's on the north end of Sim
Yeah.
Golf Course.
Yeah, I saw that yesterday for the
So-
first time.
So I'm just surprised since it's in Riverside that, I mean, you know, there's not been any issues or?
Yeah, it was,
They
there
got
was a
B
zone,
zoning.
huh?
They got multifamily zoning.
Yeah,
That
yes,
was,
right,
that was already,
yeah.
So that's
Well,
an
I think
apartment,
it was
that's what that is?
already multifamily zoning, and then the developer came in and purchased that, because I think that part where it used to be the Booth Hospital,
Right,
Yeah.
right.
I think that was already zoned MF 18.
oh,
Do you remember that, Bill?
It was some type of multifamily
Family.
zoning.
Because the single family only included the north boundary of Sim Park. And so,
You see it partially platted or not platted, I forget which. We're gonna have to do some,
yeah,
we're gonna have to do some platting, I think, to figure out how to figure out the design of utilities.
right. I believe that's correct.
so there was no need to do any.
Yeah, it would have come before the DAB because the zoning allowed what they were doing. What they have to do is create a site plan and either by platting, or they have to have a drainage plan because that acreage is so large and they're right on the river, or at least it's over an acre. And so they would go through, stormwater, and public utilities and fire.
You're probably gonna have
So-
compatibility standards kick in there. 'Cause
Yeah,
I think there's single family right across. the
that's
street.
correct, but yeah,
So
it's
that's gonna limit
residential.
height as well as how close they can get to the street. But then they just gotta figure out just what kind of density that's, kind of a triangular shape is a property. can
Yeah.
afford.
And still meet the on-site parking requirements and
Yeah,
easements and so forth for the internal circulation and that type of thing.
Understand Riverside Neighborhood Association's keeping a close eye on it.
No, but they didn't like that.
Not at first, no.
I bet not.
What are they doing to West Street between 13th and 19th, 18th and 19th? It's the only street in town that didn't have holes in it. Now they have to hit those.
They made some holes.
Right there at Dillon's, they've got a couple of
About
lanes.
every half block, they've chopped out part of the street. It's all,
Like Quick Trip?
yeah.
By Dillon's.
Dillon's
on the
Central
north
and
side.
west.
Dillon's north.
Central and west.
Oh, Central and West.
Yeah.
No, 13th.
13th
Oh,
and
third- oh,
west.
Yeah.
Lane,
Is it? Um,
they've been doing that all through the neighborhood, so I'm just thinking, yeah.
Yeah,
What's now, again, what is the location?
It's up West
Between
Street, it
13th.
starts at 13th and it ends at about 18th or 19th Street. And
Right
about
before the
every half
curve.
block, they're chopping a big hole in the street. I didn't know if it's enlarging sewer, I don't know what they're doing. It just,
no, it wouldn't be, well,
I don't know
I
what
could-
it is.
I could definitely find that out for you, and then I'll send you an email.
I'm not gonna try to drive down and begin, I think those cones, you know, there's no real lane through there anymore, so you'd run over something or hope it doesn't hit you.
Yeah, that was like driving down, heading south on Ridge Road towards 13th Street. And they had the turn lane blocked off and you couldn't see the cones at 7:30 at night. There's not enough light at that intersection to see that they had everything blocked off. Almost paid a couple of cars.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Are there any other issues or concerns? Okay. Anna, you hold it find out about them.
Yes.
Okay, thank you.
No,
about
Brett, we actually have one more agenda item now. Calm down, Gregory. No, you're excited to get home.
Okay.
Next neighborhood reports.
Let her be in all of her glory. She gets to play boss tonight. Nope, no neighborhood reports.
No neighborhood reports. Okay. Do I have a motion for an adjournment?
Sure, I'll move that we adjourn.
Second,
Second.
all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Meeting adjourned.
You're on camera. See that?